started right away. Tim, first question to you.
Steve, we only saw obviously a half hour practice, and everyone came out of Thursday night saying it was just one game, but it seemed very normal. It seemed guys were loose, guys were normal, guys weren't wallowing or anything like that. Just how, you always say it's just one game, but how important is it for the guys to buy in and have their normal approach going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's the value of experience, playoff experience, is you really do understand the ups and downs of a playoff series, and it's really important to turn the page one way or the other. You know, if you win and you get happy and you let your guard down, then you're in trouble. And if you lose and you feel sorry for yourself, then you're in trouble doing that too. So it's all about how you respond. And these guys are, the best athletes, best competitors on earth, and a huge part of competition at the highest stage is your emotional and mental approach, and that has to be consistent.
Is Gary's elbow to the point that I know he was active the other night, but that you're comfortable putting him in the game?
Yeah, I the other night I would have put him in special circumstances, maybe a late game stop. I didn't feel comfortable playing him significant minutes yet. I thought, and the training staff felt like he needed a little more time. I anticipate that he will be available for more than that tomorrow, because the last couple of days have gone pretty well, and he's feeling better.
Rohan in the middle.
Steve, the Celtics played only one big for most of that fourth quarter in game one. Do you feel like that's something you guys need to adjust to, or when you kind of look back at the film of that fourth quarter, you feel like it was more of an execution issue?
Well, I think the game is always tied together, offensively and defensively, but it even ties together from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. And I thought we got away from ourselves in the first quarter in terms of, game plan. We let a few guys walk into some shots and get comfortable. We let Jaylen Brown get a fast break dunk with nobody touching him in kind of a 5-on-4 situation. I think everything that happened in the first three quarters kind of helped the process in the fourth for them to get going the way they did. But obviously they played extremely well, and the lineup that they put out there has had a lot of success throughout the playoffs too. So kind of a combination of all that.
Steve, what's your reaction having watched the video with the team and going over things? And also, when you look at the way the fourth quarter unfolded, what do you think of the amount of defensive, force that you guys played with?
Yeah, I mean, it was the film showed the good and the bad. We had some good stretches, and then obviously the fourth quarter was, as I said, it was like an avalanche. And I give Boston the credit that they deserve. They played a brilliant fourth quarter. But again, we let our guard down earlier in the game, and that allows guys to be more comfortable when they are taking shots. And when you get a couple early ones that you get a really good look at, it just makes every shot easier after that. So I think it was our coverage breakdowns, personnel breakdowns earlier in the game that sort of fed into that.
Steve, a little bit off topic. I would presume that being a role player in this league would enable you to help coach role players because it's a shared experience and stuff like that. But how did being a role player in the NBA as a player help you coach stars? Was there anything kind of knowing how to play off of a star that has helped inform the way you coach them?
I think it's more my observation of watching Phil and Pop and how they collaborated with Michael, Scotty, Tim, David, Manu. I mean, witnessing the relationship between the coach and the star has informed me much more than sort of being a role player and what the dynamic is as that role player. So yeah, I can't relate to anything Steph Curry is feeling on the court, but I can relate to the moments I saw my Hall of Fame coaches collaborate with those stars, and that's been very helpful.
Joe, back right.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Joe.
The other night was the first time in a long time that Jordan Poole wasn't highly effective. Looking back at the film, was there anything you saw that he could have done better, or just that kind of knocked him out of his rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game where he didn't really get into rhythm. You give Boston the credit, again, that they deserve. They're the number one defense in the league. They did a good job on him, staying physical with him. And then you see the tape and you realize, okay, we could do this, we could do that, and you make some adjustments. But ultimately, you trust that, like any player who has made the impact that he has, you trust that there's going to be some ups and downs. And I thought it was a tough night for him, but I have full confidence that tomorrow will be much better.
Steve, over here on your right, what you spoke about in terms of handling the outcome of game one, do you or anyone on your staff, will they sort of monitor your opponent to gauge how they handle that, or do you just assume they're going to handle it perfectly and any variation will exhibit itself?
How they handle what?
Success in this case.
I'm sorry?
The success of a victory early.
Yeah.
Where they.
Well, we always discuss as a staff, if you're Boston, what do you do? If you're our opponent and you look at that tape, where would you make adjustments? So we have some thoughts about what they might do differently going into game two. And then we've got to be prepared for that and make adjustments as we go.
Final question in the back middle here.
Hey, Steve. After the game, Draymond and to a degree Steph talk about the game as an anomaly. I wonder, are you at all concerned that it might not be the right mental attitude, even though there obviously are some element of truth in that? But are you concerned about that mental attitude to just dismiss the game as an anomaly?
No. I mean, Draymond and Steph have been in the finals 6 times now. They've seen it all. They've seen everything. They've won championships. They've lost championships. They've had their heart broken. They've had parades, and this is all part of it. And so that's the right mental approach, and that's one that's born out of experience. I don't think anything was said with any sort of disrespect or whatever. It's nothing like that. We know how good Boston is, and we have great respect for the way they played. I think you got to look at that fourth quarter and say, job well done. And then you look at the tape and you go, well, here's where we could do better. And as far as interviews and post-game coverage and that stuff is our guys have been doing this for a long time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.